Hello ladies and gentlemen, game 2 between Maru Prime and MMA SeKo Starcraft, bringing you some games, some replays from the, well technically it's kind of like Code S, but this is the Korean WCS qualifiers. Can't remember if this was up and down matches or not. Regardless, two of the top Terran players right now out of Korea. I mean, you can put up there, you know, Polt and MVP, and maybe even a little bit of Marine King, and so forth, and Tasia, and Innovation, and all these great players. Terran seems to have this really fun superstar kind of caliber right now, even though they're not necessarily winning all the tournaments. First game, very interesting tank Marine play. We saw a lot of pressure out of MMA, really getting his macro and his economy going faster, turning down an early attack by Maru, and using that opportunity to really just pull further ahead in his army size, getting great position to siege up his opponent. But after that, we saw Maru play very patient, break out of the contain in a very cost-effective way, and then turn the pressure completely around. And it went into a micro base trade at the end with a 4 medevac drop from MMA, but it was eventually cleaned up, and he had to GG out. Slightly different gas timings here. MMA has us out a little bit faster, so we'll see if that plays into anything a little bit different. I'm not sure it's going to make too big of a difference in the game. Maru is going to go out for a scout a little bit earlier. Last game we saw MMA really looking for any proxies that may be happening. Korean players, cheesing is super common still, and I think particularly TVT. It's very easy to go for some sort of proxy buildings and just get that advantage and get an easy win if your opponent doesn't scout it or know it's coming. It's very difficult for them to hold it off. Down goes the factory. The positioning of this factory would tell me that he is interested in potentially going for a banshee. I mean, it's obviously as close as you can to your opponent. Last game we actually saw MMA lose an SEV. There was no real delay in the construction there, but we saw him lose an SEV pretty cheaply. Back on this side, see the factory from Maru slightly behind. And we've seen that from a couple of games, just attack just slightly behind from Maru here. And maybe that's on purpose so he can focus a little bit more on his economy. But we'll see if that gives MMA just the slightest of edges as his second gas is down sooner. And he should be getting down at starport for Banshee. Likewise on this side, there it is as well. So we see just a little bit crisper of a timing here. Just ever so slightly from MMA. So unbelievably identical otherwise, though, even the 3 Marines at the front. I think that's really funny. 4 Marines now. Ha, eat it. Looks like Maru's putting a lot more energy into Marines behind this, which is pretty important. If you don't do that, you can very easily lose, you know, a handful of Marines to really good micro Banshee work. We'll see if this is still going to be Banshee. I would expect so after all that investment. But we can see, yeah, about 15 seconds ahead for MMA. And that may not make a difference. It may just allow him to get out a few more shots. But more importantly, that means that this Banshee is going to be closer to this base before this one pops, making any type of a Viking defense a little bit more delayed. Widow Mine's coming out as well. Supply block right now for Maru. The Widow Mine's a really nice touch to have in place. It won't one-shot a Banshee, but it sure makes him think twice. Gotta think twice. That's gonna be a little bit of a nice pickup. Blammo. Add you in pieces. Fender. Tire. Those Banshees coming around. This Banshee's going to... Let's see if they hug each other. I don't think they're going to see each other on the way by. Maybe. They should have. They're close enough to each other. They should have seen each other's... Now Maru is also sending out another SCV here. It's a Pretty smart position for that mine there. Oh, that is so sick. I don't know how. He must have just spotted the mark on the ground. What you can do is you can generally see the little tiny shadow of what a widow mine is. Banshee's already finished for MMA, and Maru's is still lagging behind here. Seven kills already. There is a missile turret down, but it's not going to give the best option here. Cloak is out. That's what I was talking about with that great Banshee control. Just kind of keeps you going. So 0 kills and almost dead. Versus 13 kills. Oh, he went 2 for 1er. That one got 7 kills. This guy's essentially a sacrifice guy. Oh, maybe he will get it away. Be pretty impressive. Does have the same movement speed as a Viking, so you generally should be able to get those away. This Banshee does return home. 13 kills, Sergeant. Managed to have himself a good run of things. So once again, actually, what the heck happened to all the SCVs of MMA? Wasn't that many kills were there? Actually got 12 kills on the SCVs. There's mostly Marines that MMA killed with his attack there. Which is still crappy, but the economy from Maru is much further ahead. Though his command center is much further behind. Wow. So we should see that economy kind of turn back around pretty fast here. Banshees repaired up, ready to go back out on the prowl. And we actually see a Viking coming out a little bit sooner from Maru this time. It helped him out a lot in that last game once he got air control. Now, unfortunately, Maru might find himself getting contained once again here. Quite a bit down in supply. We'll see if MMA's... He was going to be able to get a good position here where he would expect there to be a command center. But there isn't one. Was not able to keep chasing down that Banshee, but it didn't get any damage done. That Marine got rolled. Ugh. No medevacs out right now for these players, so any damage to take these Marines is just going to leave them in a little bit more pain. Looks like MMA doesn't want to try to take that positional fight and is going to back away for now. Just set up a soft contain here where the third base would naturally be happening. We do have a much faster third command center this time out of Maru. Whereas MMA, from what we saw last game, was much more focused on that economy. So he has retaken the lead now. That third command center is going to help out. 13 kill Sergeant going back into action. Should be able to pick up a few more before he gets stopped. There's no missile turrets lingering on this side of the base, so I expect him may pick up 1 or 2 more. Looks like that one. Banshee didn't make it as far. Looks like he got maybe a couple more worker kills there. Widowmine gets shot down. MMA's in a little bit of a weird position right now. He is about to get the lead on Vikings. No, tie on Vikings. Managed to get 1 tank. That's alright. Double the secret missile, double the fun. Looks like this is Maru's time to try to push out. It's probably a great time to do it because he's just about to lose air superiority. I'm surprised that we didn't get seeker missiles out of MMA there. Instead of going, he went for all of the auto defense turrets. Oh, that attack got turned around really quickly. That's why I was thinking if he managed to hit a couple of great seeker missiles there, The splash damage would have just changed that entire battle. This banshee's still sitting down here, not getting anything done. I think MMA's forgotten about it during all this. No defenses at home. He lost all of his tanks. So this is going to let Maru just walk in the front door here, not even have to siege into the front door. I think MMA is going to have to consider pulling workers soon. There's not many Marines here. So workers will get on top of these tanks really quickly. Great position on this Banshee here. Does really want to get that tank. He will get it. That was a pretty big deal. Tanks are unsieged. Still pretty darn effective unsieged though, as they cut right through all that and MMA GG's out. A very interesting counterattack style from Maru there, just knowing when to put on the gas, broke out behind those seeker missiles on those tanks, and then just stomped his way through. I thought that was very well played by him. Made it look really easy, in fact, just came down here and walked into the base and won essentially, but he just managed to have the right unit composition and push at the right time, because I think if he waited just a little bit longer and gave up the air superiority to those Vikings, it would have been much more difficult to try to push out. So the series goes to Maru Prime. Thank you guys for tuning in to SeKo Starcraft, and we'll see you soon.